another thing that I hate when people say, you only live once. The money, you can't take the money with you. But my thing is, these bills ain't going nowhere. These bills gonna keep coming in every month. Don't let that little motto fool you about you only live once. And the money, you can't take the money with you. I'm telling you right now, you better put you some money aside, save you some money, and have you a cushion, because you don't want to ever have to pick up the phone to borrow some money from somebody, and you don't want to be in a situation where you can't do something for yourself that's needed. So that's why it's important. All that live once and money don't go with, baby, these bills ain't going nowhere. You better put you some money to the side.
We are back. We are back. We are back.
Drink water. Eat Fruit podcast. Yes, we are back.
And I'm Masart.
And I'm Shonda.
We don't ever introduce ourselves.
Right, I'm Shonda.
And Masart.
Yes, and the name of this podcast. Look, please hit the subscribe button, because we never tell.
Right. Oh yeah, we never say that either.
We never tell y'all to subscribe. See, y'all should love us. We
need to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all that.
All that. Please subscribe.
And if they add something new, go ahead and hit that and do that too.
Exactly.
We appreciate it. We appreciate all the support.
Y'all notice anything different?
What? Oh.
Y'all, I have been so excited about this couch. The blue ones was giving very much waiting room hospital vibes.
Right. That's what I told you from the jump. But you said you liked it, so I went with it. I didn't really mind it. I kind of liked it. It was cool. But I do like this white cream, whatever you want to call it. This cream does pop a little more.
Yes.
I like it.
This is what I envisioned. As soon as we got the blue couch. I think the first episode, I was like...
Waiting room. You didn't like the waiting room vibes?
Yeah, it was giving hospital waiting room vibes. It was 1 o'clock in the morning.
Therapy.
Yeah. Yes.
This ain't no therapy, y'all.
Right.
Even though we can help y'all with a lot of problems, but it ain't therapy. This is free. Give advice, our opinion.
Speaking of opinion.
What?
What
What kind
opinions
of
are we going to be giving them tonight? Thoughts?
What are we going to talk about?
Financial literacy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good subject.
I'm so excited to talk about this.
I think that needs to be talked about more.
Seriously. Especially in a relationship. Not even in a relationship, just life in general.
No, at an early age, not even a relationship.
Yes.
Because that is definitely not taught in school. And
did your parents teach you? Did your dad teach you anything about finances?
No, not really.
Which is crazy, because the people automatically think because of his skin, they love saying that. Because I'm dating him, they think that he just have this type of advantage because of his skin color, born with good credit. Child, when we got to go to him,
I kind of was, but I'm just kidding. No, exactly. Right. But that is not really talked about. Like I said, I know I didn't learn none of it in school. Did you?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I think that's all on purpose too.
Right. Why didn't they teach us about financial literacy in school?
Because they want to keep us workers.
I've never heard anything about...
School is just to build a bunch of workers, and yeah, they're not going to teach you stuff that's really going to advance you and help you in life and get you prepared for the real world.
Like, they literally they teach us for like 12, 13 years, and they don't teach us nothing about credit. They don't even teach us how to fill out the tax form. Every time it's time to fill out the tax form, I need help with that.
Right. But even with the credit with me, like you said, that, you just think, like, the people out there that do have parents that do teach you at an early age, you need to be real thankful for that or whatever. I can at least say my dad, he knew how to build his credit, and he had good credit, and he was, for the most part, good with his money. But he wasn't just sitting there, here, let me teach you this, let me explain this. Like, I had to, like, watch him, observe, and then, like, get the answers I needed from him, and then really just trial and error. Because if you just want to stick with the credit side for a while, like, I had credit for a long time and thought that I had good credit because I'd get a card. Every time I get a card, I would max it out and then pay minimum payments. And I would never miss a payment, and I'd make my payments. But when it was time to really get, a larger loan or really get something with my credit,
right,
I found out quick. They were like, yeah, you've had credit for, you got good credit and you've had it for some years, but you've never really you just had a card that you maxed out and you're making minimum payments on, and I found out like, oh, okay, that means nothing.
Wow.
Like you actually got to, even have a higher, and it's hard to do that if you don't know how the game and how to do it, as far as to leverage and get more credit and then get, buy bigger assets and bigger things or whatever. So my first time trying to get a bigger asset that costs more, try to go get that loan, and the money I needed, I could only get, they would loan me about half of what I needed. And I was like, what? I got good credit. They're like, yeah, you do, but you haven't really shown that you've bought a bigger purchase and bought something. So it's like, how can but yeah. So I had to kind of learn the stages and the steps of like really how to work and run credit. And like I said, it's not, why isn't there a class in school
And
to show you that?
I always thought that having no credit was good credit. I was like, ooh, if I don't get no credit card and spend these folks' money,
Right.
I will always my credit will be good. But I quickly found out that having no credit is just like having bad credit.
Oh yeah.
And I was just so used to when it's time for me to get something, like when I was getting an apartment, oh, let's do a credit check. Oh, you got to put a deposit. Okay, I'll have to pay the $150 deposit or whatever. But once I started getting older and started realizing I need other stuff like a car, and it's like, hold on, my grandmama ain't gonna be here forever to
Right.
co-sign for me. And then, like he said, his daddy was doing the credit thing and did the credit cards and stuff, but he didn't teach him. He kind of observed. I didn't observe nothing. I didn't know nothing about credit and how it worked, and then I just thought it was just a scam. Like, don't get caught up into that. That was always what I was taught. Don't mess around with the credit card. But obviously,
Right.
there was some people who didn't pay their credit card.
No,
bill.
exactly. They're looking at it from the aspect of, oh, they're thinking credit means free money. And that's not how it goes. Like, no, if you use it, you have to pay it back. But there's ways to to do that or whatever. But yeah, a lot of people, which I did that because I didn't know. I didn't know till later. Hey, you get a card. If you're gonna live off of it or you're gonna use it, and then once you get that bill in at the first of the month or whatever, whenever it comes in, and pay it off.
And I remember when he said, you know what, I'm about to pay off my whole credit card bill. Now, and I think it was like $5,000, $3,000.
Yeah, it was like it was like close to like $4,000 or $5,000.
I was like, yo, what are you
But-
doing? Are you serious? Are you really about to? That's a lot of money you about to give these folks.
Right.
Why you just can't keep paying the minimum payment? What?
Why?
But I didn't know. But I
right.
didn't know. I have no type of education when it came to that. So
And I didn't either. But I quickly realized, I'm like, hold on, I'm paying hundreds of dollars a month in interest.
yes,
Like if that is what credit is, if you're in a dire need or you really need it and you can't pay it off and you got to spend extra for whatever reason,
Right.
and you have to make the minimum payments, and you got to do that okay, it is for that. Or you're trying to start a business, you go get the money and you can't pay it, so you are going to pay interest or whatever to get what you need to help you in the future to get something right now. Like, okay, credit is for that too, and that can help you. But what a lot of people do is they just keep making those minimum payments. They'll get a large lump sum, and it's like, oh, you could go ahead and pay this off, but they're going to look at it like, oh, no, I'm going to keep this, or I'm going to spend this, and just keep making minimum payments on something. And it's like, you know how over time you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on interest when the money comes in. Cause I remember that's when I knew that, like, okay, you were making fun of me when you had got that check, and I think you owed.
I had got an insurance check one time, and it was a lot of money. And I had owed T-Mobile, I think, like $600.
Right.
And he was like, you need to use some of that. I think my check was like, what, $2,000? Like $1,200, close to $2,000. And
Right.
back then it was a lot, still a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
But I'm saying
even more back then.
$2,000. Right. It was $2,000, and he was like, use $600 of that and pay your T-Mobile credit bill up. I was looking at him like, what?
Right. Cause I was like, that's just gonna go on your credit. Like you said, you haven't even established credit, and now you're already gonna be,
Right. And I was like, I called my sister laughing like, girl, do you know he trying to make me spend $600 to I pay my credit card T-Mobile phone bill off? Like, no. But child, I was so ignorant and didn't know no better. If only I would have listened, I could have started establishing credit then. He tried to put me on game, but I wasn't listening. I was hard headed.
But yeah, any advice I could tell someone, if you got it, if you don't, you can only afford the minimum payments. Okay, I understand that. And you're trying to better your situation. You're not just going and getting stupid stuff on credit, unnecessary stuff, living beyond your means type situation.
Right. If you can't afford to buy it,
Exactly.
I don't get it. If I can't pay the full thing, like he said, if it's an emergency dying need, like if something with the house or something that you gotta get, you gotta put on your credit, and you can't afford, just okay, good. But buying just unnecessary stuff and you know you can't pay it off, it's gonna take you a year to pay off something that costs $600.
Right. Now you're triple paying for something. Like I said, I've used it a couple times for a business. For, shooting music videos. Okay, one time I went and got a big loan for a camera. I didn't have the money at the time, but I knew that, hey, this is going to elevate my business and this is something that I needed and this is something I'm going to make money off of. I wasn't just getting a credit card and like, oh, let me go buy some clothes or let me go buy a bunch of stuff that ain't going to make me no money, stuff that I really don't have to have and don't need. And that's where a lot of people just start getting, build it up and then you got bad credit. And now when you try to go, like she was saying, and, oh, I'm ready, I need to go get a car. I don't have nobody to co-sign. You got bad credit. You think they're going to give you that loan? You think they're going to give you that car? They're not.
I did not know it worked. I did not know it worked. Like, they called me ignorant, called me silly, called me, no, I don't care what you call me. Look, I didn't know. When I tried to get a car, I was like, oh, they going to make your car payments way super higher. And you got to have a co-sign. And you still got to make a stupid dumb down payment way big. Just well, like what? I might well I can't buy the car cash for pay this much for down payment. So yeah, I just was not educated in that part at all.
Good credit, so many benefits. You don't have to put deposits on. Cause I mean, you recently just experienced that.
Yeah.
Cause you were getting something in your name or whatever, and they said a deposit. I was like, hold on. I was like, did they not run your credit? Like, you got a good credit, right? And then they came back and they were like, "Oh, sorry, you don't have to put nothing down." I was like, "Right."
Okay.
I'm like, "You better use that good credit."
See, I'm new to this. He be true to this. You know what I'm saying? He know how this goes. He don't.
But I had to learn. And that's why it goes back to they need to put it in schools. If not, each one teach one. If you got kids or you got whatever, any friends, family, nephew, whatever, like any advice that you can teach them and show them at an early age and give them so they don't have to learn by, trial and error. They'll know exactly like, oh, this is what I need to do. You want to build, because you can build credit fast. Now you might not be able to go, you know what I'm saying, because even right now, you got good credit and you've had it a while, but they still want to see, you haven't had it for that long. So you can have excellent, but it's still, like I said, for the most, like, boom, going to get in the car, cool. Getting anything, for most things, whatever. But as far as trying to go get maybe a big loan or something, you might need a little more time for that or whatever. But at least you're doing everything to get to that point a lot faster. Because I had a good credit for years. I started at an early age. But I didn't do it the right way until later I found out, like, oh, this is the right way to do it. This is what looks better. This is what's going to build it faster. And once I learned, it was like night and day. But yeah. They definitely need to teach it in school. I don't know why there's not. That should be the main course, like the main class, like
right
in school.
Definitely
every year, like. They just add new things or whatever. So by the time you graduate, whether I get it, they don't want to teach, something that, because if everybody gets to a higher level, everybody can't be business owners. And if they start you out early, do you think everybody's going to go work the simple job, like the jobs that they want fulfilled? And, no, they want to keep making their companies, and everybody that's going to school, they need employees. So I get kind of why it's just like they just keep it to the basic, why we keep teaching the same stuff they've been teaching for hundreds of years.
Right. That's
like we haven't evolved. Like, look at all this technology, but we're still learning the same things that we've been learning for hundreds and hundreds. Like there's a reason for that. But Yeah, I don't.
How important do you think like financial literacy is in a relationship? Like that's like, cause some people are hard being bad with
Yeah,
money. Let's
that
talk
can.
about the credit part. Okay, you can have good credit, but then if you bad with money, like if you bad with money, then that's not good
Yeah,
because
that could ruin a whole. Like, say that I'm good with my money and I work hard, and especially if you're married and your spouse isn't good with money and they spend a lot, now that just makes y'all are together. So now that makes, if they're in debt, you're in debt. Like, I couldn't imagine. That's why I looked up. I'm glad like that you're not materialistic, and we grinded and we worked hard to get in the situation we're in now. But a lot of people don't do that. Like, talk about, you want to talk about that, like sacrifices and
yes, let's talk about sacrifices. Like I have been big. I have people always call me cheap. People call me frugal or whatever. But one thing about me, I gotta always have me a cushion. I don't care how much money I'm making. I gotta have me a cushion. If I gotta sacrifice, get my shoes from Walmart, get my shoes from Plato's Closet, shopping here, or the thrift store, whatever, I don't mind. I don't care. I did what I had to do because I was not about to mess with my cushion. Because one thing about me, I do not like calling people for money. I don't like borrowing money from people. I don't like being in a situation where I don't have it and I need something done. So that's why it's just good no matter at what level it is. If you don't save but $20 a week, put it to the side. At the end of the year, you might have two, three, five, $600. I don't know how much money you have by the end of the year, but put $20 a week to the side, $20 a month. Put something to the side because, bro, it is not good to be in a situation. I just was always just paranoid. I didn't never like picking up the phone, asking people for money, need money. I didn't even like asking him, putting him in a situation when I needed something. Of course, if I needed something, he would help me if he could. But I just like the fact that if why I'm gonna go out and buy something that's gonna take money from my cushion and it's gonna put me in a situation when I don't really need that. It's just a want. People made fun of me for wearing my little Walmart Air Force Ones. People made fun of me for shopping here, shopping there. But guess what? One thing I did not, they did not make fun of me or call ask nobody to borrow nothing. Because
that's so true. Like, I hear so, it scares me because I talk to so many people, and you can kind of quickly like figure out that it's like, oh, they don't have, because they'll be telling you about life situations or whatever, and the way that they talk about it, it's like, wow, it was like, what? You don't have, like, you got to wait till your next paycheck? Like, that's a normal thing. People living like paycheck to pay. There ain't no way. Like, just like her, like, she was to the extreme.
yeah,
But that's the thing. We both had jobs to where it wasn't a paycheck, weekly paycheck. We both been entrepreneurs, so we didn't fully know when, the next
dollar
month,
was
yeah,
gonna
the next
come,
dollar was
right?
coming in, the next gig, the next whatever, but definitely she was a little, more extreme as far as on the spending side. But as far as having a cushion, like she was saying, that scared. Like, I don't see how.
Because
Like, I've always had to have enough put aside to where I always looked at it, and maybe, I guess, I don't know. Like, maybe if you do have a regular job where you get a weekly paycheck, you just like, oh, okay, because I mean, you could get fired at any time. That business
anytime,
could go under at any time. So it's like, I don't see how people, like, I don't feel comfortable unless I know at least I got 6 months that I can pay all my bills. Then I can kind of feel, okay, cool. Some car breaks down, something whatever. I need some, like, okay, cool. I don't have to stress about it.
that's how it is with me. That's why I was so frugal because I know how it feels not to have money to be able to. Because I done got kicked out of people places before. Well, I done got kicked out before, and didn't have enough money put to the side because I was like so comfortable. And then I know how it feels for my car to break down and not having no transportation, not having enough money to get it fixed. So I said I don't want to ever be in that situation again. But back that was back to what we was talking about, financial literacy, just having a cushion. I always kind of was good with my money with saving, but it was probably just a little bit. But after them situations, I was like, no, I gotta always have some money put up just in case something happens to my car, just in case I need, like you said, I might not have 6 months saved up, but at a small level, I definitely had like at least 3 months saved up of bill money, just put to the side, or emergency money, just something. Even when I was working paycheck to paycheck at the delivery place,
Right.
I
Oh
was putting
yeah.
up my money. It was like,
Yeah, you
if I
saved a
don't
lot of
need,
money. Like, and these people, like a lot of people I know, like I said, the paycheck to paycheck thing, and it's just that blows my mind. That I don't understand that at all. It doesn't have to be. That was with just me. I felt good. Okay, having that might be
mm-hmm,
to the extreme to some people. Like what? Nah, yeah, I got that much money. 6 months money saved up. I want to do something. Like okay, you pick your own. You know what's going to make you
mm-hmm,
comfortable, but not having nothing. And that's one thing. Like since we've been together, only a handful of times we've had to help each other. We've
mm-hmm.
always paid our way and handled everything, and luckily, it worked out. But other than that, neither one of us ever had to go and ask somebody like, "Oh, rough time, this, that." And we've been entrepreneurs. You would think we would be the first ones, but I've known so many other people that's like, "Oh, you got a regular job," but it goes back that you live in paycheck to paycheck, and then when something happens, you have no choice but to reach out. Like, I'll sacrifice. That's what people don't know. Sacrifices
Sacrifice.
and just like living beyond your means. Like you gotta learn not to do that. Like, cause I'm not asking nobody for nothing.
And
Like
I
I
don't
said,
want.
if it ain't something that okay, if I like I said, a couple times in our relationship, especially when we first got together,
Mm-hmm.
because I was just starting to build my company, my business, and it was just starting out. So there was a couple times where I had to lean on her, like, hey, my insurance coming up. Bam, can you throw me a little something? And then she was up at that time, so boom, no problem. I'll help you out. And vice versa. There's been times where she was a
Right.
little short or whatever, but I never looked at her like, hold on, you going out here buying shoes, buying clothes, buying like no. She wasn't buying nothing. She was
No,
still rocking the shoes from 2 years ago and the clothes from going to the thrift store, but it wasn't even like that wasn't a regular thing to even go get some brand new Walmart or thrift store or just any shopping.
I just started being able. I was my first time ever being able to go into the mall and buy me a brand new pair of shoes was probably the year before last, probably in 2021. That was the first time I was able to go in the mall and buy a pair of shoes over $50. Like if the shoes was $55, oh no, I'm not getting them. I'm not getting them. I'm sorry. And if I needed something else, it was straight at shoes at Walmart. And my first of all, I would go to the Plato's Closet first, then Walmart, then the mall. That was my order. But 9 times out of 10, I would find what I want at Plato's Closet. I'll walk out with my whole wardrobe from Plato's Closet for like $60. I'm talking about
Or the
whole
thrift. Don't forget about the
the
thrift
thrift
store.
store, all that.
You stayed in the thrift
The
store.
Goodwill,
That
and
saved you. Yeah, you stayed fly, and you're an artist too.
right. So it just like, yeah. So I ain't had no shame in my game. You gotta have to put that pride to the side, baby. I don't care, cause you got that type of vibe and you got that natural swag. You gonna be able to rock anything. So that's what I did. I did what I had to do. Not that call and ask nobody for no money. You feel me? I'm gonna shop at Plato's Closet, and thrift store, and Walmart until I got a big, 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 big cushion. We both shopped at thrift stores.
Oh yeah, I've shopped. I still to this day.
Right, we still
Right
shop
now, I
there.
can go get whatever I want, but I still sometimes, hey, let me pop into. I ain't got no shame. Like
Right.
I go in there all the time, and I remember like last year, I was looking at some Nike shorts,
Oh yeah.
and they're like probably like $50 in the store, $5.
At
I'm
Plato's
talking about
Closet.
they the same. No, Goodwill.
Oh,
They were
Goodwill,
the
yeah,
same exact
That was
ones.
crazy.
The same
That
exact.
never
They
happened,
were
and
brand new. Nothing wrong with them. $5.
that was insane.
Like you can find so many gems, but some people, like I said, they're just trying to keep up with the Joneses. They're just trying to keep up with everybody. Like, oh no, I ain't gonna shop at good. And it's like, hold on, you the first one that
You need
needs
to
to.
be right.
And I
You
don't have
need.
no shame. I used to be there too. I wasn't born with money. I didn't, have a lot of money. And neither when we got together, like I said, we were both entrepreneurs trying to build our company and build from the ground up. So we had no shame. And still to this day, I don't have to. So a lot of times, yeah, I rock everything. You might even though I don't do too much of it.
Right.
But I might, if I like something and it's designer I want it, I can go get it. And then tomorrow I could be at Goodwill's and
Right.
you'd be like, hold on. Like, what? You just got some
Exactly.
of this and then now you had good. Yeah, I do both because I don't really care what anybody thinks. If I like it, I'm going to get it. But I'm not going to do it and put it on some credit and then I can't pay for it. Like, if I can't
Right.
afford it, that is the key thing. It ain't about, oh, you shop here, you shop there. No, if whatever you like, and then if you can afford it, that's what we're trying to get across right now is,
Cause
can you afford it? Because so many people, or if you're putting it on your credit card and you know that you can't pay for that item the next time that bill comes in, you can't afford it.
exactly. Don't
And
do
people
it.
don't realize, they're just like, oh, they think, well, I can swipe it and they let me buy it and they let me get it. So I can afford it. I got credit. And it's like, no, if you can't pay, because that's the key is pay your credit card every time that bill comes in. Use that credit card, live off of it, but you're only spending everything that you spend on that credit card is just like, oh, if I was spending cash that I have. Because when that check or that, that bill comes in, all that money that you saved up for the month because you were using your credit,
You got.
it's hard to do. I get it.
Oh, that was hard to do.
It's
Something
hard to do,
I
but
had.
you have to do that. Because if not, over time, just paying the minimum payments, you paying you're paying so much interest. Like it was just, yeah, it was. And I at that time, as soon as I started realizing, like seeing how much interest and started paying attention to it, it was even hard that time because I didn't have money like that. I had some money in the bank, but $4,000 just to go away, just to clear out, so I don't have to pay 100 because I was paying a little over 100 in interest a month. So I'm like, keep paying that. This money is going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving them free money or clear out this 4,000. And that was hard to do. That was really hard to do. But I thought about it. I'm like, I'm paying thousands a month in interest. I mean, thousands a month or a year, thousands a year in interest. So I'm like, if I just keep making the minimum payments, I'm already going to pay half of this. So just clear it out. And then ever since that day, every time I get my credit card bill, and now I don't pay no interest. And so the key is I don't get anything that I can't pay for. If I know like, oh, I'm not going to be able to pay for this when I get my bill, I can't afford it. I'm not going to get it.
Same here. I don't buy nothing I can't. If I can't pay for it next month, I'm not getting it. I only do it. I only use my credit card. I use my credit card for everything. And I pay for and I use it like my regular money. I don't use it. Like I said, if you're in an emergency situation, then okay, that's different. But I only use my credit. I use my credit card for everything. And I pay the full amount off the next when the bill is in. I don't pay minimum payments because I'm not gonna buy nothing that I ain't got no business buying with the card. Unless life happens, you know. But I hope nothing ever happens. So that's why I do it like that.
But you never know. So that's why you got to have that cushion.
And you don't want to put nobody else in those situations. It's not fair for me to be. It's not fair for me to splurge on my money, be reckless with my money. He's smart with his money, and now I'm in a situation where I need something. And I gotta ask him, and he got to go in his cushion that he smartly saved. You know what I'm saying? Sacrificed and saved and put to the side. That's not fair. So that's why it's important to have a cushion and to save your money. Be smart with your money, because don't go out buying this and that, eat this and that.
All right. Because that's how, yeah, at the end of the day, like even with me and her, like if somebody reaches out and they need, like that's the thing that if we want to do it, then we'll do certain things or whatever. But if you're hitting us up, like just because we sacrificed for so long, we're not like the average person where it's just like, oh yeah, I know. I've had to ask for it before, ask people. So I've been in your situation. So it's no
Right.
problem. I'll loan it to you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But no, that ain't how we look at it. When you come to us and we're looking like, oh, okay, you weren't doing the right things with your money. You haven't saved up a cushion and you're calling because something happened. Yeah, we'll feel bad for you, whatever. But it's like, no, we look at it more of, we didn't have nobody to, when we needed the help or, didn't ask nobody for help, and we had to live without. So we feel like, look, you need to do the same thing until you come up.
But it just seems like I just get more smart because once you've been there before, you don't want to ever go back there before. Once you start building a cushion and start being smarter with your money and save, you don't want to ever go back to not having the cushion. Go back to ever asking somebody. I mean, not because we never asked nobody, but I'm just saying, just go back to even just being in that space. Like, I don't want to ever not have a cushion. Well, okay, if something happened to my car, or if something happened in my home, or something happened to me, I can't take care of it. Like, and like you said, sacrifice. Like we had to sacrifice a lot. Like, it's plenty of time I wanted them to take. I wanted to go out on dates and eat out, but we didn't. We had to eat at the house.
I guess back then, it's funny now because
we don't even eat out.
Yeah, no, not even eating out. Like, no, like taking trips. Because when we first, the first few years and stuff, really for the longest, I would want to go on like trips and vacations and stuff. And I would just have to like soak it up to be like, hey, this is going to be, come with me on this gig that I got a gig out of town or in Miami. I got to go shoot some videos. So we'd kind of just sneak that as like, exactly. We'd enjoy ourselves and kind of, that was us getting away. We never had
a trip vacation.
A vacation, as they say. We never had one.
We've been together for what?
12, about to be
12 years. But our first we still ain't officially took one.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's my point now is that we can afford to do it. And now I don't really care about it. But back then when I couldn't afford it, it's like I wanted to do it so bad. But it's just like, and I could have did a few gigs and then we could have went and splurged that much, whatever. But I'm like, no, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not going into
the cushion, right?
Yeah. And luckily we never had a situation where it's like we're scrambling to pay our bills or pay rent or pay the car note or pay anything that we needed to pay. We never got into one of those situations. We never, we started at rock bottom, but then once we started, coming up a little bit, we both had cushions. We never even really talked, I never asked her like, hey, how much. I just knew, okay, boom, she's got some money set aside and she knew, okay, boom, I got some money in the bank. So without even, and that's crazy that we never really sat because we kind of learned together. But it's luck. I'm thankful to have somebody like you to where, because if it was the opposite, I might not be able to have no going back to, like you said, in a relationship, you could have been eating at that. And I loved you. So it's like, if you were demanding, no, we need to go out on this vacation. God. Oh, we need to go out to eat tonight. Oh, you need to take me. You haven't took me shopping in a while. And that could easily just, you start doing that stuff every month. Next thing you know, I don't have no cushion because
we probably wouldn't be together because you're not that type of person.
Okay, but I'm just saying I'm just speaking for in general. Like if
we
never went through, I don't know. Maybe I was in love, so I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I definitely wouldn't have went broke. I would have been like, hey, this is as far as I could go. But you never made anytime that I ever would go and buy you something nice or whatever is I wanted to do it. I didn't feel pressured. And you still would kind of be like, no, and try to be awkward about it or whatever. And I'd be like, no, I want to buy you this. Let me get you this or whatever. And that wasn't all the time, but that was when it goes back to, and that's how relationships in life should be.
Right.
Let that person be like, oh, you know what? I've saved up enough now to where I'm comfortable. I got a little extra, I got a little extra money coming in. I want to do something nice for you. Versus like, no, I'm going to be on your back. Like, you got to do some nice stuff for me. And that person might be trying to save up for a cushion and try to save up to better his situation or her situation. And then, but maybe if you have somebody that's not good with money, maybe you're good with money, maybe you need to break it down to them. I mean, some people probably, I don't know, they might not even want to hear it or whatever. They're living in the moment.
Money can hurt a lot of situations too if you're bad with it. I'm just saying. Then I understand everything is expensive, everything went up, but I just feel like at least $20 a month to the side, or $10, $40 a month, $10 a week, every paycheck. Just put $10 to the side. Just sacrifice. It's all about sacrifice.
Right.
They're not gonna sacrifice though.
No, I mean, just like you said, because that is the excuse. Everything's high. Nah, I can't say. You can save something. Even if it's $5 a month.
Right.
Like eventually, yeah. But instead, You go year after year after year after year, and then like I said, I don't know. I don't.
And some people
You
get their
get used to.
taxes like,
Oh yeah, that's a good example. That's a good time right there. Then
let's
okay,
just say
throughout.
you do owe a lot of money. You get what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. A lot of people got kids. They might get $10,000
Yeah,
every
if you're
year.
getting that amount of money,
Put 500 to the side. Just
and then later that year you don't have a nice little cushion, and you blow through all that money, like yeah, you need to reevaluate your situation, your spending habits, and see what. Hey, where am I going wrong? What do I need to do?
And then cars too. People get the most expensive type of car.
Oh, just keep upgrading,
Keep
keep.
upgrading.
All
Keep
right,
upgrading. Why?
you pay this one off. Yeah,
I drove the same car since I drove the same car since 2010. I just got a new car
right,
last year. I mean, this year I just got a car 2 months
right.
ago. From 2010 to 2023, I drove the same
Wow.
car. Windows weren't working, oil leak, couldn't the AC barely work. What else didn't work in the car?
The window.
The windows didn't work. Had to open the door to drive through, but I
Right, but it
sacrificed.
drove good,
It
and
drove
it yeah,
good.
it got you from like you were going to ride it to the wheels, fell off. And same thing with me. I had a 95.
Man,
I
that
used
car
to
was
have people like rag on me when I'd show up to do the equipment I was shooting the video with was 10 times more
expensive than
expensive
the
than the
car.
car. Right. So people would just kind of, I've actually had somebody ask me that, like, did I get embarrassed pulling up or did anybody judge me? And I wanted, but it was a client. Well, it wasn't the actual client. I think it was the brother of a client.
Right.
So I still was going to treat him the kind of the same way or whatever with respect. But I really wanted to be like, yeah, you judging me right now. But
Right.
he really was asking me that. Like, did I feel any type of way pulling up to the sets and stuff in the car? Or have I been judged? Like, he really was at. I'm like, yeah, you're judging me right now.
People
But I
really
didn't care. I
right.
still would have that car right now. But something happened and I was spending a lot of money trying to get it fixed. And I was like, okay, doesn't make sense.
Right.
And then I got a newer car. And then I've had that car for what, 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have had it. But since we moved to a house. And I was like, okay, I
It's
need a
time for
truck.
a
Yeah,
truck.
it's like if you got a house, I just feel like you need a truck.
Cause all that
Yeah,
trying to pay somebody to pick something
right.
up and waiting for them
I
to
done
pay
got my
extra.
money's worth of the truck since we've been here. Because I
Yeah,
done used it so
definitely.
many times where it's like,
Facts.
oh, you got to pay somebody $100 or you know how many, like in the past, U-Hauls and stuff I was getting
Mm-hmm.
just to get stuff. And then since we've been here so many times, so it's like, it's going to pay for itself.
Exactly.
But if we didn't get this house and if we were still just renting and staying where we were, that I'd still have that car. And I wouldn't feel like and that's the thing, there's so many people I know that they complain about a high insurance and paying a high car note. And it's like, you really can't afford it. Like, for what? Who are you trying to impress?
Right.
Because all that stress and pressure you add to yourself, what? You get maybe a month when the car is first brand new,
Mm-hmm.
and you post it on social media and you tell all your friends and family and everybody loves it, and you're riding on that high burns out. I would say maybe even before that.
Right.
But I'll give you a good month because I've had my vehicle for a while, like, and it ain't nothing. Yeah, it felt good when you first got it. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I got a new truck, new vehicle. Even when I got my other car, because I went from a 95 to a 2013.
Right.
So that was like, to me, that was the newest car I've ever had. Because up until that point, all my cars were 90s. Every car, I think, was like yeah. So at that point, I think I had a 1990, I had a 94, a 95, and then another 95. So I didn't even have
The 2000 car.
a 2000 car
Until
up until
2017.
2017.
My
And it was a 2013. So that was the closest thing. It wasn't, to me, it was brand new,
right.
but it wasn't brand new. But that was the closest thing. I felt like, oh, yeah, it was just but a week later, or, after a couple times driving it, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I just got to make a payment. But I had to have a car. And since that one went out, I was rushed to get, but that car, I loved it. I felt bad I had to go, but I was like, I'm not, why, keep it and just pay insurance and keep the car. But I did, I was sad getting rid of it. But It just goes back, yeah. Like people just,
And
I
my
don't.
dream car was a Jeep first. I was like, I'm gonna get a Jeep. Once I get my credit right and I save, I want to get a Jeep. But then I was like, dang, I didn't want to get no old one, but because I'm like, I ain't trying to get them with like 100,000 miles on just because it's cheaper. But I'm like, I want something with low mileage and that come with a lot of new features. And I'm like, dang, these was expensive, like 50. I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, they don't even ride smooth. He was like, but Mark was like, what you looking for? You not looking for you looking for luxury. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get me a mini SUV, and I got one way way cheaper than the Jeep, and I'm so glad I did because I probably would never got the Jeep anyway because I wasn't paying no $50,000 for no car. I don't care what kind of dream car it was. I wasn't getting it because it didn't ride smooth
Right.
the way I wanted to, but
Yeah,
I got it because it's not just I got it because that's what I wanted. The vehicle that I got. A lot of people just be embarrassed about their car. They do buy this type of car to fit in, to keep up with this. You better get what you can afford. I got what I could afford. Get what type of vehicle you can afford.
Right. And you're more than happy with it.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm not about to be driving around no luxury car struggling. I'm not about to be doing it. I'm sorry.
What so many people do. It's just like, oh, it's almost like, yeah, just trying to look rich or look like you got it. For what? Like, who are you trying to impress? Because now you're just struggling. When you're struggling, all those people you're trying to impress, they ain't going to be there when you need money for your light bills or you need help on rent or that expensive car broke down and now you got to fix it.
Because even though you might can afford a car, but the expenses of when a car is having issues. Woo, child.
That's right. It ain't just the high insurance, the high car note. No, when something happens to those high,
The high
yes,
gas.
the high gas
Ooh, child. I was like, ain't no
and
the
the
car.
parts and labor, that
Be
needs to be a
smart with your
class
money.
sacrifice and financial literacy.
Sacrifice is the key. I'm telling you.
It is, yeah.
Sacrifice is the top
You
of it.
feel so much better.
Once you sacrifice, you gonna have your cushion. You gonna be in. I'm telling you, sacrifice is the key to the cushion that we all need to save.
Because when you sacrifice, and like she said, with that cushion, imagine that cushion. The reason we say a cushion is because you have something, it's like having, like this couch right now feels good sitting on it.
Mm-hmm.
You got a nice cushion, and it's going to feel nice 24/7. You're going to feel good versus you go and live beyond your means and you get something and it feels like a nice cushion for, like I said, for a little while, then that goes away. And then it's like you're sitting on a rock 24/7 because, yeah, it's just you can't afford it. So you're constantly just under that stress and pressure. But
And then another thing that I hate when people say, you only live once. The money, you can't take the money with you. But my thing is, these bills ain't going nowhere. These bills gonna keep coming in every month. Don't let that little motto fool you about you only live once and the money, you can't take the money with you. I'm telling you right now, you better put you some money to the side, save you some money, and have you a cushion because you don't want to ever have to pick up the phone to borrow money from somebody, and you don't want to be in a situation where you can't do something for yourself that's needed. So that's why it's important. All that live once and money don't go with, baby, these bills ain't going nowhere. You better put you some money to the side.
right, because money and material things do not make you happy. As much as I love the car and the new house or whatever, but at the end of the day, I feel no different than where we used to live. I mean, there's a lot of differences, but I'm just saying,
right,
technically, because if that's the case, it's like, oh, I shouldn't wake up and have any bad days. But since we've been here, I'm human. Like, I wake up sometimes and I'm just like, this one of these days, I'm not feeling good. Just no different. That's what I'm saying. Majority, like, yeah, of course, when we sit there and think like, oh, we have our own land. There's a lot of ups, yes, and a lot of things to be happy and grateful and thankful for. But when it's all said and done, when you take away those few things, like, oh, it's a nice house, a nice car, it's not going to make you happy. That's all I'm saying. If you're already mentally and you're healthy and you're happy naturally, then okay, some nice things can enhance it. And I think then it can kind of add to it. But you can be a million billionaire, and if you're depressed or you got issues, that money, is not going to make you happy. So it goes back to, why are you going to struggle? Oh, you only live once. Okay, just put in a little sacrifice, because it's going to feel so much better. Like, but I think that people just get, just with a lot of things, whether if it's eating unhealthy or spending money unhealthy. Like, that's what I had. It's funny though, because I did that as a joke with her, because we did come from the bottom, and it was, even for me too, but I was ready. Like, once we made our mind up, like, okay, this is the time now, we're going to get a house. Like, it was a lot easier for me to just say, okay, this is what we're going to do. But with her, she was trying to be strong, but at the back of her mind, she was scared.
Yeah, I was definitely scared.
And I had to just show her and convince, like, look, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because she is to the extreme of like, oh, wow, we're paying this, and now we're about to, our bills are going to go up, higher than what they are now. She's almost like, hey, let's just kind of keep it how it is, whatever.
Right.
Why do we got to switch it up? Blah, blah, blah. Even though it's so much, because now you're going to own, and so many benefits to do what we're doing.
Right.
But to break that ice, so I had to explain to her, I was like, you know so many people out here that are doing way more, and they're not even in the situation that we're in, and they ain't losing no sleep.
Right.
That's why I was like, they sleeping good right now. While me and you discussing this, and you're stressed out about getting a house and taking this leap.
Right.
And it's like, that just goes to show you where it's just like, yeah, I don't know if that can be taught. Maybe it can't. Maybe it's just, I don't know. You're born, because luckily we linked up together, and we're not exactly, like I said, she's extreme, but we're still on the same path, versus like, oh, I'm bad with my money, I don't care. And then she's to the extreme with that.
Although
way. Like,
he's a little bit more loose with his money. He not stupid with his money now. He's very smart with his money, but he's quicker to buy something that he sees that he like. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Like, wait a minute, should I get this? If he sees something, he know he can afford it. But if he can buy it 2, 3, 4 times, he gonna get it.
Right.
Me, I'm like, oh shoot. Let me.
You
make
can
sure.
afford it a bunch of times over, but you still aren't. Yeah, going to just jump the gun and do it.
I'm not gonna jump the gun. Even I'm telling, I compare prices a lot. He knows when he pick up something in the store, I be like, hold on, let me. What you got that organic? Hold on, what is it? Is it really organic? Let me see what the other prices is. Okay, let's get this one right here. Right. Or even not even organic. He'll just pick up something. You check the price.
No, yeah.
At first, when we first got together, he would pick up stuff and not look at the price. I'd be like, hold on, why
better with, I'll look things out. But if there's a difference though with, like, I will kind of now, I won't just grab the first thing. I'll grab it and be like, okay, this is what I want. I like it. How much is it? Okay. And then I'll look for the same thing. Like, oh, okay, here's one. But if I end up liking the one that's more expensive over the one that's less, most times and the less and cheapest isn't always better,
right?
Too. So yeah, even at that point, I still might go with like, hey, if it'll just turn out to be, I'll get whatever one that I want. I can afford it. I'm not living beyond my means. But with her, she's to the extreme where I got to tell her, like, look, you're good. You got it.
And most of the time, it makes sense. Like, I'm the type of person, I used to be the type of person. I used to be the type of person that'll go in Dollar General and get us like 4 rolls of tissue. And he's like, no, let's get the 16 rolls. So we want to keep coming back. And I'm like, boy, that's $20. They're right here, $2.99. But it makes more sense.
Because that bulk, you're going to end up saving way more.
Right.
Because it might seem it's more money right now.
Right.
But over time, when you keep just buying those 2 rolls of paper towels versus getting this 8-pack or 12-pack, over time you're gonna end up spending way more. Mm-hmm. Plus, the trips to the store, you're spending more gas. Yeah, so it's like sometimes, you got to spend a little more. But I can say that as far as spending money that I didn't have, I've only done that a couple times in my life. Besides, obviously, when I was like super young and didn't have bills and stuff. But since I've been an adult where I got bills and I got to be responsible for myself a couple times, but it was all to invest into my business.
Right.
So one time to get a camera that I needed. That's like when we first got together.
Right.
I had a bunch of gigs lined up, and I went out and I spent pretty much my last. I pretty much went broke to get it because I was like, oh, I got all these gigs. I need this. This is going to level up my business. And then once I got that camera, one by one, the gigs all got canceled. But it worked itself out. And I ended up making enough money and building my brand and company up enough to go and do it again with another, some more equipment. So only times I've ever done something like that where it was to invest into a company or whatever. But other than that, I've never, yeah. When I used to buy stuff to spend it, I had a nice cushion. I never, let me go and buy. I just wouldn't have felt right. There wouldn't have been no way. I would have been sick to my stomach. I wouldn't have been able to sleep at night knowing I'm broke. We got bills coming up. And I just went and bought some clothes or bought something unnecessary. But people do it all the time and they sleep real good. And that's the issue.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
It really is. But I mean, I don't know. I guess if it works for you, and so many people, it must be a thing. I don't know.
Hopefully the right people hear this who need to hear it.
Right. Hopefully, if we could just help one. That's what, every time, these are all just our opinions.
Yeah. Do what works
if it
for
works,
you.
yeah, exactly. Or
But
if you got a better way or whatever, we're not saying this is perfect. This is perfect for us.
Right.
And we're just giving our opinion on what worked for us and how we feel. Because if it don't bother you, if you live paycheck to paycheck and you're cool with that and it really doesn't bother you and you've been getting by for so long and it works, then it works. There's nothing, then this doesn't mean and do nothing for you. But if we can get one person to be like, wow, I never really thought about that. And I'm tired of every month struggling. Because guess what? Life happens every month is something new. So that means all the time things are coming up where, I didn't think about this. I got to pay that. I got to pay. With stuff that we got to pay, yeah, it sucks. But when it comes up, it's no big deal. It's just pay it and then it's done. We're not even thinking about it no more. So I couldn't imagine where it's, damn, my car is making a noise, but I got to wait till Friday before I can even go and get it looked at because I don't get paid till Friday. Or, yeah, if this, like I said, if it just helps one person to, like she said, we know, and it just keeps going. Hopefully, sometime soon, things will level itself out. I mean, life is a roller coaster, so eventually it will come back down. But right now, everything's on the up and up, but the pay ain't. But it doesn't matter. You can always sacrifice something. There's something if you go through, you might have to cancel out one of your vices or something. I can't do this weekend. I'll do it next weekend. But this weekend, the money I would spend, I'm just going to put that up. And every month, whatever it is, you figure that out. Just put something up and keep doing that. And next thing you know, you got a couple $100, 500. Now you got 1,000. You got a couple thousand. I don't know. I just think that it helped me with my mental. Because then because things happen. So when things would happen, I'll just kick my feet up and be like, you know what? I'm just going to ride this through. Because I know whatever, eventually things will get better. But I got some money set to the side. I'm tired of talking about money.
Let's go make some money. Right, let's go spend some money. Don't forget to subscribe, y'all.
I'm going to let you make something. I'm going to spend it.
I'm going to make you.
What?
Okay, y'all. You going to talk about something else? I mean, you want to wrap it up?
Oh, yeah. I guess that's it.
Let us know y'all thoughts on these financial literacy stuff.
Yeah, give us some ideas or, some good tips.
What help y'all save? When did y'all start saving? How did y'all start saving? Give us some tips in the comments. Maybe some other people will see it. And don't forget to subscribe, and share.
Like, comment, subscribe, click that bell for notifications so every time a new video comes out,
you can get it.
You'll see it right away. And so this is eat fruit.
No, drink water, eat fruit.
Oh, drink. See,
Drink
I'm telling
water.
y'all the wrong. Don't listen to me.
Drink water, eat fruit podcast.
Drink water, eat fruit podcast.
And we will see y'all on the next episode.
On the next one.
We gotta go. We
Gotta go.